one of the biggest things that most of us have learned in dealing with this is that there was a time that your gut told you that something was wrong. And you chose to believe the lie that nothing was wrong. And so if we can do those things, that's a very excellent start. And I use that as a word, start.
Okay, thank you. Good suggestion. And you've also lost a loved one to addiction. Yes. And led a support group. What are some common misperceptions that you've noticed about loved ones of addicts, and what role can they have in kind of changing those misperceptions?
Well, some of the biggest misconceptions have already been touched on is that they're not an addict because they're not living under a bridge. I can tell you that over the years that I've been involved in programs like this since 1990, and 10 years of that I worked with kids that were raised in homes. I say worked, but I dealt with because I considered them friends, and I understood what was going on within their lives. But there's so many misconceptions that people think that, well, they can't be an addict because look what they're doing. They're doing this or they're doing that. Well, I can tell you that over the years that I have met CEOs of a company that was a functioning heroin addict. Now, I'm not saying they function very well on some days, but that went downhill. And there's also many misconceptions from the aspect of getting caught up in someone else's chaos. People seem to also have the misconception that there must be something wrong in the family. That's the furthest thing from the truth in many cases. One of the things that, and I'm going to touch on just very briefly, and that was the 3 C's. And the reason that I say that is that most of the people, when they first walk into a room trying to get help, the 12-step programs, no matter which one you're in, is about you. People really need to understand that. Whether it's for AA, it's about them getting help. If it's for NA, it's about them getting help. In programs for Alateen, Al-Anon, and Nar-Anon, it's about that person getting help. So many times people go into a program and think, well, I'm going to get this list, and people are going to tell me how I can get my addict clean. Well, folks, if that list was out there, we'd be handing them out for free. It's just not there. Because, as has already been mentioned, is that there's different paths of recovery for different people. And it's the same way with family members. Some family members need sometimes, if you want to call it a swift kick in the butt, for reality. Other people need to be nurtured along the way. But the facts are, we have to deal with the facts. One of the things that I haven't heard touched on, and I would feel remiss if I didn't. We talk about the kids. Could I just by a raise of hands see people that know of small children that are living in this type of situation? That's quite a few hands. Now, if we're confused, how confused are they? And in addition to that, and I'm going to shut up with this because I could go for a long time. One of the youngest kids that I dealt with as a friend, I was dealing with teenagers, and we had allowed it to go down to age 11. They asked me to take a little girl that was 7 years old. Didn't really want to do it, but we did. And what I found out was, at 7 years old, her mother was a registered nurse, held a very good job. Her father was very active and sometimes violent cocaine addict at the time. And at 7 years old, she'd already been institutionalized twice for attempted suicide, and she was a cutter. How confused was she? Therefore, I say that's why the families can be just as sick or sicker than the addict. And we have to start talking about it. Thank you.
Thank you very much.